Hey guys, it's Steve the Cannologist, and I'm about to show you how to make an apricot gentian preserve. It's going to be sweet up front, a little bitter on the back, and really help balance that cocktail out. We have 1 cup dried apricot, 1.5 cups of water, 1.5 cups of sugar, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 2 grams of gentian root, and another 1/2 cup of water. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a gentian tea. We're going to boil that gentian root just to extract all that bitterness into the water, and having it a separate ingredient is going to let us kind of control how bitter we want the apricot jam to be. We're just going to fold in exactly as much as we want. So let's start there. So you're going to take that extra 1/2 cup of water we put aside, you're going to put that in the pot. Alright, so I'm going to bring that to a boil. And once that's boiled, I'm going to add that gentian root and simmer it for about 15 minutes or so. So let's give it a second. All right, guys, well, while that's coming to a boil, we're going to chop up our apricots. We don't need to dice them super fine, but we need to break them up a bit. So let's chop those guys up while we're waiting for the water to boil. Get those apricots. Oh, they're running everywhere. All right, so we're just going to start chopping them up. It's going to be fun. You can watch me chop. Alright, so the water's at a nice boil. We're going to do one of these guys right here, and we're just going to toss that gentian right in there. Stir it around a little bit, and we're going to just recover that right away. We're going to turn that temperature down, and we're just going to let that simmer for about 15 minutes. And if you want to take a look at the apricots as well, so you see you don't have to get a super fine chop on them, but they got to be broken up a bit. We're going to mash them again later anyway. Here we go. It's going to be fun. All right, guys. Well, it's been 15 minutes. So I'm going to take the gentian off of the stove, filter it out. You're going to take a fine mesh strainer. Make sure you get all that gentian out. Kind of stop the bittering process. This stuff is really bitter. If you taste it, it's going to coat your mouth. And, it's a lot. So let's do that. All right. Okay, I'm gonna go get rid of this. I'll be right back. Okay, so now we're ready to start making the jam. So I'm gonna put the pot back on the stove, and I'm gonna take that 1.5 cups of water that we originally had. I'm gonna boil that. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna let that come to a boil, and then I'm gonna throw the chopped apricots into the boiling water and simmer for about 10 minutes. We're trying to rehydrate the apricots, get them nice and juicy and mushy, so we can mash them up into jam. So let's let it boil. All right, my water has come to a boil. Ooh, look at all that. So I'm gonna take those apricots, I'm gonna dump them right in there. So I'm going to let those apricots boil for about 10 minutes before I start mashing them. It's going to, again, let them get nice and juicy, mellow out, soft. But yeah, we're going to set the time for 10 minutes, let it go. Alright guys, so it's been about 10 minutes, so I'm going to start mashing those apricots. Let's do that. Yeah, so if you look, take a closer look here. So they're nice and plumped up now. A lot more juices in there. Now we got something to mash. Now you can also just blend these, but you don't want to really put hot things in a blender because it kind of does funky things. So if you want to let it cool down and then blend it, it'll be much more smoother consistency. I'm going to go a little bit chunky. That's what I think I want. So I'm going to try to mash these up as good as I can, but I'm going to leave it like a rough mash, you know? A rough mash. All right, now that's good and mashed up. If you can see, it's a little more jammy consistency. Definitely something good there. All right, so we're gonna put it back on the heat. Simmer it up. I'm gonna add a little bit of water just to kind of reconstitute what we lost with the steam. Don't look at this. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. All right, we're gonna bring that back to temperature. And we're gonna fold in that lemon juice that we put aside. And all that sugar. Yeah, let's get that sugar in there. Get it all out, get it all out. All right, so we're gonna kind of constitute it. And now the plan is to simmer it for about 20 to 25 minutes is what you wanna do. You wanna keep stirring it constantly just to make sure nothing scorches, nothing settles, everything cooks evenly. So, I'm gonna start stirring this. Alright, so I want to bring that to a simmer, and then I'm going to start folding in that gentian liquid that we had. So I'm going to simmer for about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to add a little bit of gentian. Taste it. Stir it up. Add a little bit more. Taste it. A little bit more. Taste it. So it's important to taste during the process to kind of get it where you want it to be. So yeah, we're going to let that simmer. Alright, so it's starting to simmer, so I'm going to start stirring it. Let's start stirring. Turn down the heat, cook it nice and low. Low and slow, baby, low and slow. All right, guys, so the apricot jam has been boiling. It's condensing, it's getting richer, it's getting thicker. It's been about 15 minutes. So now I'm gonna start folding in that gentian liqueur. And we're gonna do that a little bit at a time. Let me grab my tools. All right, so I'm gonna add about an ounce in and then just kind of scale it down and start tasting. So let's try it out. All right, so it's about a full ounce of gentian liqueur, and that stuff is bitter. It goes a long way, you only need a little bit. So let's give it a second to incorporate. And from here on out, we got another 10 to 15 minutes of simmering. So I'm just gonna keep tasting till I like it where it is and just let it finish. Okay, it's hot. Don't put it all in. It needs more. It needs more gentian. I'm gonna put another full ounce in because I don't really notice it. And remember, as you're tasting, the heat is going to hide the bitterness a little bit. So imagine when it cools down, the bitterness is going to increase. So you want just a little bit of bitter, just a little bit of bitter, just enough, and that flavor is going to concentrate kind of as it cools, as it incorporates, as it settles. So that's what I'm chasing right now. I'm chasing just the right little bit amount of bitter, just enough, just bitter enough, you know, because it's very sweet. I'm starting to get a little more bitter. It's coming in on the back of the tongue. Bright, sweet, fruity up front, a little bit bitter on the back. I want to push it a little bit more though. I want to push it, it's going to be an ingredient in a cocktail, it's not on its own. So I want it to shine through other things. And that bitterness is really going to be what balances this cocktail, so I got to get that right. Do I want it further? I don't think I do. I think that's where we want to be. So all in all, I put about 2.5 ounces of our gentian liquid. I've got some left over if you want to gross somebody out. But there's about 2.5 ounces of the gentian liquid in here, and I think that's right about where I like it. So I'm going to let this reduce a bit. Then, of course, we're going to take it off. I'm going to let it cool, and yeah, it's going to be great. Alright guys, my gentian apricot jam has been reducing for a couple minutes, maybe another 5-10 minutes. I think it's right about where I want. So it's not super jam consistency. I'm going to show you this. But we're using it in a drink. We're not spreading it on toast. We don't really need texture as much as we need everything else. But take a look at this right here. See? It's nice and thick. Ooh, look at all that. Ooh, look at all that ooey gooey. Ooey gooey. But yeah, it's looking good. So I'm going to take it off the stove. And for now, I'm just going to put it in a temporary, just Tupperware container. I'm going to let it cool down. And once it is cooled, ooh, it's filling up the thing. Ooh, that's pretty full. And once it's cooled, I'll have the option to decide whether or not I want to puree it or leave it chunky. All right, guys, so our apricot gentian jam is cooled pretty well. And it's beautiful. I don't know if you can see it, nice and thick. Look at that. Oh, that's what we want. But tasting it, I'm finding it doesn't quite have the bitterness that I want. So I'm going to blend it just a bit, and I'm going to fold in the rest of that gentian liquid that I had, which is hopefully going to get that right where I want it. But yeah, I want a little more bitterness out of it. It's sweet, it's a little bit earthy, it's nice, but I want to go a little bit farther. So I have about an ounce of it left, and honestly, I'm just going to go the whole thing. Beautiful. All right, so I'm just going to pulse this just a little bit, just to get it mixed in there, fold it in nice, kind of blend out all the chunks, and make it a smooth, nice jam. Here we go. You ready? It's going to be good. Oh, it's different color entirely. Look at this. I'm just going to pour it right back in here. Well, you know what? Let's take a little spoonful. Let's do this. Okay, so it's a little bit different texture now. Now it's a little runnier. Just a touch, just because it's... Look at that. I think it's going to work well. That's beautiful. Let's put it away. Let's put it away, shall we? I think this jam is ready. All right, folks. We have our gentian apricot jam.